Hey everybody, Jeff Hill at eTechnos again. This is one of our unique videos. This is one's about custom editor features or elements. One of the cool things about how we built intentionally BenefitsEASY is for customization, for further elements or features or customization to a benefit site, not letting things get old and stagnant. One of the things that we love to do is make sure people know that besides the basics of any site where you upload documents and hyperlink and images and files and PDFs, those type of things, inside the editor is a custom or special feature element option. We want to look at that. So what I did is created a test site or a test page within your site. If you're learning something, and this takes a little bit of learning the tricks and figuring out the directions on that, I always suggest everyone go create a test page, clone something else. That way you can add things without worrying about editing or messing up something live. And just go to that page, okay? So I'm in a little test page. And what I'm talking about is inside the page, you can see all these options on here. But you also see, if you haven't done so already, there's a little plus button. If I click on this, up opens the element pop-up box. These are all things that you can add to any page in the editor. They're built to be simple, but because they're unique in each one, we don't really have a video library on all of these. We'll probably be making small videos on maybe the most common elements that you might consider adding. But I want to give you a broad scope of what it is and how it works and show you a few examples. So you can see right at the top, there's some social ones, some style design. You can see we even have them outlined from structure to social to main elements that are in site. You can see the document button. That's where it came from, where you link to a document. Linking to a hyperlink or a web address. There's a general or normal button. They do kind of the same thing. So these are other ones that you can use and get to know, and some may not make sense. Some of them are pretty obvious. What I'm going to do is show you things like a video editor, really simple thing, and it's built to be simple. That's why we chose, again, to be intentional with WordPress for this ability now and in the future. So I'm just going to go and say, okay, and then go find a video, YouTube or Vimeo. Pull up the page, and up here on the top, you want to highlight the web address. Okay, here's an example. It can be any video on YouTube or Vimeo. If it's another system, it's probably not certain if it'll work, but you know what? Just copy and paste the video, see if it works. But I'm going to get rid of that, completely delete it, and then right click or Control V, put it in there. These are a couple of different options on there. Again, this is where you might have to go back there and edit as you go because they're all unique. I'll change that. Rule of thumb is if you don't know what it is or what it's going to do when I click it, leave it alone and go into it a little bit later if something seems to not be working right. Okay, I'm going to hit save. All right, you can see I've added the plus right here. In order to see it, though, I need to hit update. So let's go ahead and do that and then refresh the test site. You can either hit view page or I always have mine in a new window. I just need to refresh it. Okay, great. You can see how it is loaded. So I shrunk it. Maybe if I had left it at 100%, it probably would go all the way over here, or make it smaller. Maybe it lines up. These are things that you can see that you can kind of mess with until you like the way it looks. Okay, another thing. Let's try something else. Another thing I think might be common is a map. So these are pretty common. I'm going to click on those too. So in order to do this, here's another example. They're not all the same, the details, but they do a great job of making sure we know, hey, enter the text. Okay, great, easy. And then, hey, visit this, just a step one. So I know they're not all going to be great at that, but here's a good example of that. By the way, if you ever see this over here, that means you can pull it down to see more of the screen. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to go to just a random map. Oh, look at this. Texas Stadium. All right, cool. I guess that just happened to be there. So I can click on this and go through that. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure I get the right content. There you go. They're all a little bit different, but the share button is right here, and you can see you can send a link, but they told us to find the embed code. I'm going to copy that whole thing. I'll click it again just to make sure, and then Control V. All right, so again, there's some different features on this. If you want to change that, again, if you're not sure, just leave it as and hit save. Okay, and there, and as always, hit update. go to my demo site and hit refresh, and hopefully if we're lucky, it's right there. Okay, so really easy. You may or may not need it, but at least you know that you have these special features, different pages, locations. You might have different maps, video library you subscribe to, a great helpful video on, say, a voluntary plan that describes a great benefit to voluntary, or maybe a critical illness. A vendor might create videos for their plans. You can ask them about it, and now you're really fleshing out your site to be a really great site with some of these additional features whenever you see them. So want to give you that intro. Hope you have fun with that. Really customize your site. Your clients will appreciate it. And as always, if you have questions, let us know at eTechnos, support@etechnos.com. Thanks, everybody.